Hi and welcome to the Tinkering Seal. Now, this is a big box. There we go. The Longines Spirit was released in mid-2020, but it's getting an additional models shortly. Longines recently released pictures of a green dial version and an anthracite version with a case and bracelet in titanium. This brings the collection to 32 versions spread over 2 sizes, 5 dial colors with bracelet or straps, and 3 hands with date or chronograph. We'll be looking at the L3.810.4.53.9. The reference numbers can be broken down to make things more manageable. First, all spirits are L3 models. Next is the version 810 for 40mm 3 hands, 811 for 42mm 3 hands, and 820 for 42mm chronograph. Next is the case material. 1 is for titanium and 4 is for stainless steel. Next is the dial color option. 03 for green, 53 for black or anthracite, 73 for white, and 93 for blue. Last is the strap or bracelet option. 0 or 2 for strap, either leather or canvas. 6 is for bracelet, and 9 is for Prestige series, that has exclusive options. I'll get into those details further on in this video. Ergo, the watch we will be looking at is the 40mm 3-hander in stainless steel with black dial Prestige edition. It's cost a little more than the regular versions, but according to me it's worth it. I'll get into why as we go through the unboxing and review. So let's start with this big box. First we have a black cardboard box. Inside we find the inner box, which is a nice dark blue wood and brown leather details. This is the same brown as the leather strap actually. Also the stitching is the same. Below the box there's a little drawer for the user manual. So let's take a look inside. First, see this lovely lock for the box. A chrome tab to lock into the leather strap. Inside the box we have a little card holder. This is for the warranty card, also for the chronometer certification, and if you get the Prestige you also get a tiny pamphlet that shows you the quick release function of the bracelet. Of course there's the watch on a bracelet. There's also a classic leather strap. There is a leather NATO strap, and this is exclusive to the Prestige line. This bracelet also have a quick release function, more on that later, but it's perfect for someone like me who likes to change strap and bracelet according to a situation. When going on a trip, just put the straps in something like this sleeve made by Antonio at CuoioFromItaly. Handmade with perfect stitching, great for protecting the straps while they are stowed away in my bag. Check out his store via the link in the description to see what other leather goods are available, or contact him to make a custom order. Also, use the code TTSEAL10 to get 10% discount on your whole purchase. All information in the description down below. Underneath is a compartment for the included book. The pages might seem poorly cut, but this is because Some of the pages are foldouts. This book contains information about Longines heritage and showing how Longines Spirit is built on the long heritage of Longines accompanying pioneers like Amelia Earhart and Howard Hughes as they conquered the air, land and sea. The Spirit is a contemporary evolution of the classical pilot's watch, with strong lume and highly legible dial. Especially with this matte black dial version, the watch feels like a rugged pilot's watch, similar to an IWC Mark 18, but upgraded with some modern touches in design and technology. Like the stepped dial, the main part with applied thick Arabic numerals, filled with bright Superluminova C3. They're so thick they're casting shadows when looking at an angle. Although I generally prefer the blue glow from the BGW9, on this watch the C3 is a perfect match for the classic look. Also on the dial there's a minimalistic markings with Longines, automatic and chronometer printed in white, combined with a thin applied logo and 5 stars. The 5 stars meaning the watch is equipped with a top grade movement. The border around the dial is raised and contains a white printed minuterie. The edge of the raised border is polished and have cuts every 5 minutes to make room for the diamond-shaped hour markers. Discrete date window at 3 o'clock with an off-white printed date. This is a nice detail that goes very well with the matte dial and slightly grey lume. Noticeable is that the white dial version of this watch get a white date wheel with black printing, but the blue dial get the same date wheel as this watch, a not so well balanced match. The pencil or index style hands with sharp ends are sandblasted to give perfect legibility without reflections. A polished hand can disappear in some angles. The second hand with its red tip is extended all the way to the outer edge of the minuterie, with the tip covering each minute marker as the hand moves. And the diamond lume dot perfectly covers the similarly shaped hour markers. Just like the dial, the hand has C3 lume. Given away by the 5 stars on the dial, this watch is equipped with a top-of-the-line movement. Beneath the dial lies a Calibre L3.810.4. Based on the ETA A31.L11, which is an evolution of the ETA 2892-A2. This Longines exclusive movement, together with a smaller L592.4 or ETA A20.L11 used in latest models, are the first CuoioFromItaly certified movements for the brand. It is a self-winding or automatic, equipped with 21 joules and a monocrystalline silicon balance spring for anti-magnetic properties. As you might be able to see, the beat rate is an odd 3.5 Hz or 25,200 beats per hour, same as the Omega coaxial movements. This is a reduction from the typical 4 Hz or 28,800 beats per hour, and thanks to this the power reserve is increased to 72 hours. This means you can take it off after work on Friday and put it on again Monday morning with the watch still ticking accurately. The 40mm steel case has some interesting work done to it. The sides are brushed in the case direction, and the top of the case is brushed circularly. Separating the two is a sharp polished bevel along the case side. Same goes for the bezel, with brushed on top, brushed side and a polished bevel around. The polished bevels creates a nice frame around the whole watch, bringing out the lines very nicely. On top is a slightly domed crystal with multi-layer anti-reflective on both sides, making it almost invisible in most angles. The case back is completely brushed and has the classical Longines hourglass engravings, along with the basic information of the watch, such as reference number, water resistance and serial number. All in all, this case is a slim 12.2 millimeters thick. The oversized crown is sandblasted and has sharp notches for easy operation with gloves. There's also a nice old school polished logo on the crown, and it really stands out against the sandblasted background. It's a threaded crown, and due to this the watch has a 100-meter water resistance, making it a pilot's watch that can survive a water landing, unlike IWC. The downside with this watch is the same as most Longines. The lug-to-lug is very long at 49.5 millimeters. Compared to another 40mm watch, an Omega Railmaster, the Spirit is 3.5 millimeters longer lug to lug. Might not sound like a lot, but on the wrist is very noticeable. The bracelet adds even a little more because of the male end links, making the total length close to 55 millimeters. I tried the 42mm in store and it felt like strapping a small plate on my wrist. It wouldn't hurt if they shaved off a millimeter or two. The lug width on this 40mm version is 21mm. The 42mm version has 22mm lugs, so the bracelet and straps are not interchangeable between the models. The bracelet have an elaborate finish. Though it might look like a 7-piece link system, it's actually only 3 pieces, where the inner edge on each piece has got the same polished bevel as the case. The links are held together with friction pins. Screws would be nice, but I don't think it's possible as the links are very thin. The thin links makes the bracelet very light. To secure the watch to your wrist, there's a fold-over clasp with dual buttons and also a micro adjustment system with 5 steps. This is exclusive to the Prestige. The regular version has a butterfly clasp with no micro adjustment. Also exclusive to the Prestige is the quick release end links. To remove the bracelet, you press down on these release plates on the back of the end link. Same for refitting the bracelet. Press down firmly and carefully put the bracelet back in place. I recommend doing this from underneath because the edge on the lugs are very sharp and they are easily scratched. The end link also have a small ledge to help it guide in place when you mount it from the back. The release plates are a little tricky to fully compress so the bracelet gets released. As an example, Maurice Lacroix has an easier solution for their bracelet, which looks more like the quick release used for leather straps, with these 2 notches which you press together to release the bracelet. The 2-part leather strap fixed to the case with quick release spring bars is 21 and 17.5 centimeters long. And it tapers down to 18 millimeters at the clasp. Top side is a nice dark mocha brown leather with nice broad holes for the clasp and creamy off-white stitching. It seems to be the same off-white as the date, which is a really nice attention to details. The underside is a natural color leather with color matched stitching and has the typical embossing with the strap width, Longines logo, part number and production code. The clasp has the same design as the watch, with brushed side, brushed top, and a polished bevel along the side. It also had an engraved Longines logo. With this strap mounted, the looks go from sporty to a little more dressed. Except for the quick release spring bars, this is what you get if you buy the regular Spirit with a strap instead of a bracelet. In this case with the production number ending with a .0 instead of .9. The chocolate brown leather NATO strap is a good 28 centimeters long. I can barely fit it in frame. And a full length 21 millimeters wide, with a generous part of the same broad holes for the clasp as the other strap. This too with quick release spring bars for an easy fit. The leather material seems to be a more rugged kind. It's a beautiful combination for the watch, and I think the leather will age gorgeously and become very vintage looking over time. You could probably change the appearance a bit by oiling it, but I'd rather have it changed coming naturally. Underside again, the typical embossing. Just like the other strap, this one has a matching clasp, both brushed and polished, but here in 21mm width. And the camera ran out of battery. Anyway, on my 17cm or about 6.7 inches circumference wrist, you can see there's a plenty of strap left to allow the watch to be worn on top of the jacket sleeve like a pilot's watch typically was. With this strap the watch looks very utilitarian. Also look how smooth the clasp goes along the strap. The design of the buckle makes it go very flat along the wrist. This strap is exclusive to the Prestige edition, and this alone is almost enough to pay the extra the Prestige upgrade cost. Looking at the whole package, including the two straps, the bracelet with quick release function and micro adjustment, the extra cost for the Prestige is well motivated. Thank you for watching this unboxing and review of the Longines Spirit Prestige edition. Tell me what you think of the watch in the comments down below. Do you think the Prestige edition is worth the higher price? Do you think Longines should cancel the regular version and only sell the Spirit with all the extras? Don't forget to like the video, also subscribe if you haven't already done that. Make sure you click the bell icon and set it to all so you don't miss any updates. Take care, stay safe, bye bye.